All right, are we live?
Yes.
Hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. All right, we are working on getting Raghav on this platform. I think we have Raghav.
Yes. Hey Raghav. We
Yes.
yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi
All
Raghav.
right. Yes. Let's get started. I think we have our guest here. So hello everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Data Skills Story Show, where we help you transform your data skills and help you share your skill story with the world. With that, I am Lekna, and this is my co host Raj. And today we have a guest. Do you want to quickly introduce our guest, Raj?
All right, so we have Raghav. He works for Discover. He's a lead data science and product manager. It's a unique,
Role.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
unique role. It's not very common. So we thought we would bring him on, have a chat about his work at Discover and his journey into data science and product management.
With
And
that, I think Raghav, you can
yeah,
quickly introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So I'm Raghav. I've been in data science and product management for like around 6 years. And I started my career as a business intelligence consultant back in HSBC, where mostly I was working on Tableau and data visualization stuff. And just a fun fact that I before that I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, so it was a very big transformation for me to go into data analytics. And then I did my master's in University of Texas at Dallas in data science. And then I started working in FedEx as a data analyst, and where I was working in the accounting team, dealing a lot with the financial data. And after a certain time, after like around 2 years, I decided that I want to move into product management. That's where I started building my PM skills, and then like I worked there for a while before switching to Discover as a lead data scientist and a product manager at Discover, where I get more to work with PM and data science role. So that's about me. And other than that, I also help a lot of folks in mentoring with respect to data science, data analytics, and PM related stuff. So thank you so much for having me. So today we will be sharing a lot of insights in data science and product management, and what like one can expect in these kind of roles.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you for giving your introduction, and it's great to have you here. And I think we have a lot of topics to cover. With that, I think uh, what do you? So you said you in Dallas, right? So what courses did you take there, and what did you enjoy? I think a lot of our audience is also like are in doing, at least considering doing masters or trying to take up masters in US. So do you have any suggestions for what courses that you took, and what did you enjoy the most?
So, few of the most practical courses, right, which help you in your actual job. So, for me, those were like the number one course, which is quite common in most of the job roles, was spreadsheet modeling. So that definitely helped me to know that Excel has so many things that it can do, and you can do as a data analyst.
Hmm.
And The next one was database management, which is SQL. So even if you are working as a data analyst, data scientist, SQL is one thing that will keep coming up in every role, and that is one thing that you need to know, and you need to have a good understanding of how it works, and the basics need to be quite strong. And the third one was definitely Python. Python is another tool which definitely helped me to grow my data knowledge, and how we can dwell into the data more and extract more insights through Python. And then machine learning, like where I learned different algorithms and machine learning models, and how it can be applied, and which would be the right fit under which circumstances we need to use what kind of models. And two of the most interesting subjects other than these four that I mentioned are econometrics, and which had a lot of statistics, and which gave me deeper insights into the data, and to think like 360-degree view regarding the data, like what are the different parameters that we need to think about, so that we can make those predictive analytics.
Mhm.
So these are the top like subjects which I recommend to get a full stack data analytics, data scientist kind of experience, and which will help you in your job search. And the other additional thing would, these days it's coming up in a lot of universities, is product management. So when I was doing my data science course, that time it was not there, but these days it's been there in like the main course. It comes along with the other subjects. So definitely, if you have that, I would suggest you take it, because you can develop product thinking by taking that subject, and it will definitely help you in every job role.
Mhm.
Mhm. So a lot of audience might not be very aware of what product management actually means, and some might even get confused with project management and product management. Do you want to take a
Sure.
shot at the definition and
Yep.
explain that what's the difference?
So, in simple terms, product management is where you deal with a certain product. It can be a data product, it can be a physical product, or it can be a digital product, right? But it's a product that you are working on.
Mhm.
So, let's say, like I was working in FedEx, I was working on shipping and tracking product, which involved both the digital product, which was the FedEx.com page, and the FedEx.com page had a lot of features on it, right? Like how a customer selects a certain button. So different buttons and different applications on that page, those would be the features of that product. So basically, a product manager manages the product as a whole, and he makes sure that the product is having a great pricing, so that you can extract revenue from the product, and you are able to track it through the key performance metrics, like year on year profit, month on month profit, and how the sales are growing over a period of time. So this is the data element that you bring to the product. So that's what is product management, where you deal with either physical, digital, or any other data product, and you work on improving the product, you work on building customer relationship, you work on optimizing customer experience, and overall you make sure the product is being launched. And if it is being launched, you need to strategize throughout the process, like how you are going to ship the product in the market. And then you have to think 360 degrees about the product. If you are a product manager, you need to know how the product is functioning, like from the start till the end. And you need to build those strategies, and you need to think about revenue and customer experience. When it comes to program management, it is more to do with any kind of program that the company is building. Let's say you are building a certain program or certain project, right? A certain
Mhm.
project that you are working on. So you are leading that project so that the project becomes a success. So in this case, the metrics would be how the project can be successful. So what is the rate of project success, and what are the different aspects to the project, basically the quality, like the project will bring, the end success that the project brings. So these are the different metrics that you need to track as a project manager, wherein you'll think more about the project, and it works in an agile way. It doesn't have to do anything with the product. And it both are slightly different. They might be functioning in the same way, like agile is used in both, and that is one common thing, and few of the frameworks can be same, but you don't need to have a product when you are working as a project manager.
Mhm.
Got it. So in simple words, could I rephrase this to say, product focuses only on the product that you're developing versus the requirements and everything. Project management involves people, resources, budgets, and expenses, all of that
Exactly.
stuff.
Exactly. That's like, it doesn't need to have a proper product, but it more deals with the how the project is shipping and all that,
Hmm.
the
Yeah, so
budget
that
and cost.
yeah,
Yes,
that also
Hmm.
means like a project manager could have multiple projects, right? Like
Right.
correct.
multiple products, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So, could you also, on the same lines, we're just defining the meaning of these product management and project management. At the same way, can you define data science? Because data science in this industry is being used to say different things. So, what do you think data science is, and what do you do as a data scientist?
So these days there are a lot of different roles, right? We see data, like we see even data analytics sometimes synonymous to data science, and then we see data scientist, and then we also see data science engineer, then we see machine learning engineer, and also like machine learning software engineer, right? So these are the different things that we see, and we also see, like in my role it is more towards data science and product management, right? So coming to this, like there are, all these are different things, like data analytics, it mostly deals with SQL, Tableau, uh, data visualization, SQL, and Python is a plus in that it need not be that you need to know Python,
Hmm.
but if you know, it's a big plus. And in data engineering, you are dealing with large sets of data and databases, cleaning and wrangling of data, how you build those pipelines and how you maintain those pipelines. So these are the important things in data engineering. Whereas a data scientist works on, he also works on SQL, and but the main part would be Python and machine learning, wherein you'll be building those machine learning models to make sure that you are having the right predictive models, and to make good predictions with those machine learning models, to get deeper insights regarding your data. So that's what a data scientist does. And then software engineering, machine learning engineer, so that is more involved with machine learning part, and also it needs some kind of software engineering skill set, wherein you'll need to have more technical knowledge. You'll also need to have computer science background. It's not a must, but some roles definitely need that kind of expertise where you will need to build those skill sets. So these are the different niches that data science has, and you have to decide like what is your experience, what are you interested in, what is your background, and based on that you need to be self aware, like what you want to do, and with respect to your experience, how you can leverage that, and how you can like how you want to move ahead in your career. So these are the different aspects that you need to think. Like with respect to my role, it mostly deals with building those machine learning models, and also I get to work on different student loans products at Discover, wherein we use that and also use SQL to analyze deeper into large sets of data, where we try to find out different loan terms, interest rate, repayment patterns, and also try to analyze the customer behavior and see like what better products can be shipped into the market, and how we can improve the customer experience based on that.
That's awesome. So how did you find like a niche like between product management and data science? How did you find this niche, and how did you go about learning about it? And yeah, tell us more about your current role as using product management for data science.
So basically, like I was doing my mechanical engineering in BTech, and
Mm-hmm.
then like I got an opportunity to work at HSBC as a BI consultant, wherein, like I said, I was working more on data visualization, working on Tableau. That is when like I learned about the data, and I wanted to build my knowledge in data. And data science was a booming field, and it is still a booming field, but at that point it was something that it everyone were going crazy behind it, and it was one of the coolest things at that point of time. So I was like very intrigued by that, and I wanted to learn more about it, and I thought masters is the best way to get that knowledge. And so I decided, like I worked for 3 years in HSBC, and then I decided I want to do more, I want to learn more. And that's when like I did my masters at UTD in data science, and picked up these different skill sets with respect to different subjects in data science. And that's how I gained that knowledge, and then started working in FedEx. And like I worked there for like around 2 years. And then I like again product management was coming up. So then I was like, that interested me a lot, and then I learned more about it. And then I started reading a lot about it and researching on the internet what exactly it is. And I picked up one book called Cracking the PM Interview.
Mm-hmm.
And that book really helped me to give interviews for PM roles. And that's how like I transitioned into product management role in FedEx. And I worked as a manager for shipping and tracking product. And when I started working as a PM, it really interested me. The kind of role it was, the way you act as a mini CEO. Basically, you get to think 360 degrees regarding the product, and you are able to directly influence the decisions that the business makes. So that really interested me, and that's why like I wanted to move towards that career path. And when I got an opportunity at Discover, it was a PM role, but also involved a lot of data science. So that's when like I decided this is what I want to do, and this is something that I want to move towards. And I also like eliminated like roles like data engineer and ML engineer, because I didn't want to get into that. I was very clear about it, and I always wanted to like move towards this side. So my like priority was set. So then I transitioned to Discover and started working as a product manager, and a lot of science, the data science centric role. So in Discover, it is mostly like where we build products for student loans. And so daily, like what I do is like I use a lot of SQL and Python to track the customer behavior, build those machine learning models wherein you can predict if the loans are getting delinquent, like basically if customers are getting defaulted, and what are the reasons behind it, what are the key metrics, key parameters that are affecting that default. And by identifying those, basically we'll as a product manager, I'll get to know like these are the different things, these are the different metrics that the customer is churning because of these, and we need to improve that as a product manager. So I get that data points through the data science that I do, and then based on that, we make sure that the product is being optimized, customer experience is being enhanced, and at the same time we are also making sure the pricing and marketing strategy is proper based on the different customer segments. So few of the ML models also like that we build are where we also track the repayment patterns, and based on those repayment patterns we make sure that the customers are segmented in the right way. So these are the different things that it like that we do, which involves a mix of both product management and data science.
So, if anyone's looking for this kind of role and they want to get into this kind of role, what are some of the projects that you would suggest that they do to get into the same industry and the role that you are in having in Discover?
So I usually suggest like pick a project, pick a data set that interests you, right? So anything, any data set that you are interested in, pick it up, and then start to analyze and understand the problem statement, what you want to solve. So build a roadmap, like what you want to solve, who are the customers that you want to solve it for. So basically you have to think like a product manager and make sure that through this data set, what are the different metrics that you can get. So once you list out those different metrics, you are already thinking like a PM. So you know, like through
Yeah.
this product, through this data set, you are able to extract the different metrics. And the second stage to that would be how can you improve this? Like what are the different ways they can be improved, and how these can benefit the customer. And so these are the different questions that you need to ask while you are working on any data set, and that will develop the product thinking. And you need to work on at least 2 3 projects so that you understand, and also you need to work on diverse projects, not just one kind of data. But let's say you are working today on social media, like the first project is social media analytics, and the second project you can pick something like a financial, something from a financial industry. So in
Mhm.
that way you'll build that skill set where you are thinking like a PM, and where you are able to derive those important key metrics that are very beneficial for the business. So in that way, like you can start with that and list out the metrics, and also like see where the product can be improved and optimized. So these are the different like tips that I would like to give for someone who is wanting to start
Yeah,
in this.
that's a great tip actually. I didn't know
Yeah.
that you can have multiple or diverse data sets, like from social media, finance, to actually think like a PM. That
Hmm.
usually I used to focus more on like having, if you want to get into a domain, pick a data set related to that and learn more about business and the metrics and
Right.
all. That's how usually, like for a data analyst or data scientist, you would suggest,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Right.
But that's a very good point that you brought, like if you want to get into a PM focused on
Mhm.
like data science. Yeah.
Hmm. So you were talking about getting into PM. FedEx gave you an opportunity, but if someone is trying to get into this thing, how can they prepare themselves? What kind of courses do you suggest them doing? An MBA or take some online courses or books? What's your recommendation?
So MBA helps, but that's not the only path to
Hmm.
become a product manager. Like, especially, I've seen a lot of cases where people have self learned the PM subject, and they have taken multiple courses, and then they have transitioned into product manager.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't say that's the only part. That's one way that you can go, but other than that, you can take any of the curated online courses which have a great review online.
Hmm.
But like one course that is great is on LinkedIn. It's like becoming a product manager. It's a
Hmm.
great course. So I'm currently like, I was intrigued by that, and I've just taken it, so I'm doing that. So you can take that as well. And cracking the PM interview, book by Gail and Jackie, that's a great book. You get to understand how you can like become a PM if you are a beginner, and it lists out all the different examples and different frameworks that usually people are asked in the interviews, and what you can expect in a PM role, and what being a PM is like, and what are the different things that you need to think as a product manager. So these are few things, and definitely look out for courses online, and try to make sure that, like, if you are really interested in transitioning into a PM role, I would suggest spend daily around at least 1 hour learning about the subject. And just by doing it, if you're continuously doing that for a month or two, you will gain a lot of knowledge. And
Hmm.
at the same time, if you're working on any project, and if you're thinking like a product manager, and if you're thinking like the different things that a product manager would usually think, then I think these two things would help you in your journey. And if you are not having like, let's say you're not having any kind of experience, and if you're not having if you're having zero experience, what you can do is you can also take up few volunteering projects, wherein
Hmm.
there are a lot of them available with NGOs. You can just work with them. You can you can see like what can be improved, like
Hmm.
what are the different things that can be improved, and then just again start thinking about the different metrics that can be optimized for them. And in that way, if you are able to improve those parts, you have a project to talk about in your interviews. So it is just that, like, what gives you those speaking points, and for that you'll have to work on projects and
Yeah,
build.
and I think with projects, like, you can get as creative as you want, right? Like, you can literally, like, if you have probably even like
Hmm.
restaurants, you can
Right.
just, they have a lot of data, right? Like, you can just reach out to a restaurant, like,
Exactly.
try to
Exactly.
food. So you can get as creative as you
Hmm.
want,
Right.
basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And the field is so interesting that if you start working on it, you'll not stop, honestly. Like, you'll keep on trying to build better products, and you'll make sure that you improve that knowledge in this field.
Hmm.
Right. Hmm.
So is this something that is picking up, Raghav, product management with data science? Because in the past there was no such role, and now you're working in this role. Is this something that's picking up? Do you think the future of product management, everyone needs to learn and be aware of the data science, concepts?
I think yes. Like right now, both are like, not many roles are like this, and both are different. But I definitely feel that this would be more going forward, because a product manager, like speaking from a product manager standpoint, he needs to know the data analytics and data science stuff
Hmm.
to make better decisions for the product. And
Hmm.
if you know those key metrics, and if you know, like, if you are able to derive it yourself, and if you are able to bring those insights yourself, then you are able to know about the product in a better way, and you can build those strategies, and you can build those marketing promotions for the customers in a better way. And overall, your product will be much more successful if you know about the data. So this is definitely a field that is coming up a lot, and in the last 2 years it has picked up rapidly. And like we used to say, data science was the new cool thing, but these days I think product manager, along with the data, is an extremely useful skill set to have, and a lot of companies are looking for that.
Hmm. Oh, that's good to
Awesome.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, any of you who have questions, just put it in the comments below, and we will take the questions in like 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Okay. And so, what are some challenges that you think in this current, like your niche, right? Your product management, data science. What are some of the challenges that you currently are facing?
So currently, like working as a product manager, few of the challenges that you usually face is, like if you're working in a sprint, like when you plan your long term and short term goals, it's not a very clear stretch of goals. There is a gray area. So you need to have those trade off, like while prioritizing which product needs to be shipped first, and what are the different features that you need to work on. So these are the different things that you need to prioritize, and prioritizing is a big challenge because you need to know what will give better results and which one you need to work on first. So these are the few things. And then second thing would be, the data, it needs to make sense, and you need to make sure that the data quality is maintained, and you are having the right data that you are looking at, so that the metrics that you are deciding on with respect to the product are correct. So data quality is definitely important, especially when you are dealing with large sets of data. And other than that, I would say, uh, while communicating to the stakeholders and your different team members, there are a lot of technical and non-technical things that you have to discuss, and bridging the gap between these two and making sure the stakeholders are able to understand it in a clear way, like what we are trying to sell, and getting the approval for those particular products and features, and making sure that you have that influential leadership where you are able to pursue regarding a certain feature or a product that you want to ship.
So that's also like more like communication skills and
Exactly.
yeah. Okay.
That's great. Do you want to switch the gears to talking about some interview stuff? How long?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Um, so tell us, Raga, when did you switch to Discover? Was it recently? Was it a year back?
It's been around a year, and few of the interview strategies and few of the things that you need to keep in mind are, especially because of the layoff thing happening right now. Uh,
Right.
this is one thing that definitely would help a lot of job seekers. So, firstly, make sure that your resume is optimized, and your resume is optimized as per your experience and as per the job role. But one suggestion is, don't fake anything on resume. If you are pursuing something, like let's say a course or certification, you can add it. But if you're faking something, it will only come back to you, and if you're asked about it, you won't be able to you won't be able to satisfy, or you won't justify that particular thing whatever you have put on the resume. So make
Mhm.
sure your resume is optimized. And the second thing is, make sure LinkedIn is optimized too, and all the different sections are properly optimized, and you also get a percentage level for the optimization on LinkedIn. So you can use different job tools to make sure your resume and LinkedIn is optimized up to the mark for that, for the different roles you are applying. And the third thing is, make sure that resume, like if you are applying for a let data science, and also you are targeting data analytics and data engineer kind of roles, make sure your experience is talking about those things. And I usually suggest having different resumes if you are targeting data engineering roles, and if you are targeting data scientist roles, just the wording needs to be a little different when you talk about that, when you're applying for that role, because the ATS would pick thinking that you are the right fit for the role based on that. So that is one suggestion. And the third thing is start preparing your mock interviews, and make sure that mock interviews that you're preparing for, you're preparing in the star format, and your answers are thorough, and you can prepare it with someone you know, so that you can practice with them. And there are also a lot of options available online, and I think that would be very beneficial. And for the coding rounds, I think lead code, hacker rank, data lemur, these things would definitely help. Usually SQL and Python are the different coding rounds that are usually there. So make sure you're practicing these two properly, and build that product thinking. If you're targeting PM roles, build product thinking. And like I suggested, Cracking the PM Interview is a great book, and definitely it would help you for product management roles.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, since we are talking about skills, right? This show is all about skills. So, could you tell us a few skills, let's say two
Two skills.
skills to be specific,
Yeah.
that helped you get this job?
So I would say three skills. One, definitely SQL. So like all the different job roles that I mentioned in data science, definitely SQL is number one.
Hmm.
And if we are combining it with product management as well, they would expect that you know at least some basic SQL. So SQL is number one. And second, communication. I like, how much ever I stress, it's not enough.
Hmm.
Communication would take you much higher compared to someone who is great at technical skills. And if we compare someone who is great at communication skills, the one with greater communication skills would go much higher than the one having those technical skills. So these two would be the ones that definitely you should focus on. And the third thing would be product thinking. So whenever you are working on any project or anything, make sure you're thinking 360 degrees regarding that project, how you can improve different parts of the project. Question yourself like why, what, how, and all the different questions you can add. And this will give you great answers, great insights, and with which you will be able to build that critical thinking. And these three skills would definitely help you overall.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, if anyone of you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat box and we will take questions now. So, do you have any other questions for Raghav? I think we're pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
So, let's take the questions from
from audience.
audience.
Yeah.
So, I think the first question is so, Laya is asking you to share
Yeah.
the
Let
link for the
me
course that you
share.
like.
Yeah, I'll share it. Give me 1 second.
So, if any of you have any questions regarding interviews or just the niche about product management or data science, put it in the chat box and we will take the questions now.
Yep. I think Raghav, you can post this course to your LinkedIn post, and that will,
LinkedIn, yeah,
yeah,
Right.
we'll share it as well. So follow us, watch
Perfect.
out for that link there.
yeah. And I think she's asking the same thing even for the product management
Oh, I think it
course that you
was a
mentioned.
product
Yeah, it
management
was the
course. Yeah.
code. Yeah. Okay. So I think we don't have any more questions at the moment. Again, if anyone of you have any questions, okay. Yes, I'm glad. So I think Jagan is saying that the session was very helpful. Yes, I'm really happy to hear that it was a helpful session. And I think with that, we can wrap up the show today.
Mhm.
Again, thanks, Raghav, for coming and sharing all your valuable knowledge and helping people, yeah, know more about this amazing niche. Hope to see more of product management and data science content from you as well.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. And yeah, definitely do follow Lekhna and Raj. They have great content. And yeah, even I share a lot of content on LinkedIn
Yeah.
and Get Data Hired on Instagram. So you can check that out for
Yeah,
data
and you
science.
do have a newsletter as well, right? So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay.
So it
Yeah.
was a great time. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having me.
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on our
Yeah.
show and helping.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.